The statue reaches toward the sky. The bottom drops out from within.
No sign of Lucian's body. Has done his business here.
The blessed altar seems to want to be touched.
Siemka, Linux, witam.
In the space beyond the altar, the pipework shifts.
Czegoś tu brakuje.
Peering through the iron grating, you can see how it connects to the strange pipework beneath.
Aha, to pewnie krwi, bo to próba krwi jest. W sumie to... A to nie głupie są te okowy.
A blessed stone altar in the space beyond the...
O, teraz jest... Teraz się tu krew pojawiła. Tylko o co tu chodzi? Pewnie...
A blessed stone in the space beyond.
Jak to przykręcić? Dzięki, Linux, trzymaj się.
A blessed stone altar. The cool stone seems to beg to be touched. In the space beyond...
No tak, to by poszło tam, powiedzmy. Tutaj. No ale... Aha, może tak? Jak te zawory przykręcić? Tam trzeba zejść chyba jakoś.
A blessed stone altar. The altar seems to
O, poszło. To na razie
a
jedno
blessed
poszło.
stone altar in the space beyond the
To jest dobrze. Teraz to pasuje dać tu. Dobra, powiedzmy tak.
The altar seems to...
A nie, bo to... A nie, poszło tam dalej. I tak, jeszcze ta krew. To jest wykorzystane. I tak by pasowało. W dół. No nie, to będzie chujnia. Tak do góry, tak.
A blessed stone in the space beyond the altar.
No, chyba tak wystarczyło.
The altar seems to...
A nie, krew. Nie, poleciała. Jak się do tej skrzyni dostać? Nie wiem. Tu się coś otworzyło. Coś mi się wydaje, że się zbliżamy chyba do finału gry.
Venture no farther. Blood need not be spilled. To cross this threshold is to... Very well.
Eh? Charming.
Look out! I see a trap nearby. Careful. I've spotted a trap.
Moving! The racket is that cranial disruptor!
Co to za zjeby? Gdzie on biegnie?
I'm ready.
Moving to rapid descent cranial disruptor!
No gdzie? No przechuj.
There's no end to them.
O! Nie trafiłem sobie w dziada? Jak ten żyje, jak ja go zabiłem?
Moving to corporeal transposition engine!
Cornered.
Gdzie ty idziesz?
What has just happened?
Position. Imminent.
Pulling a lever invites magical translocation.
Moving to hazardous concoction generator. Moving to reinforcement deployer.
Gdzie ty kurwa idziesz?
Moving to noxious atmosphere enabler.
They just keep coming. Look around. There's got to be a way to make them stop.
Moving to involuntary death
Right
assist.
where I want you.
Ja pierdolę, to oni tak będą biegać, po co? Nie stają za każdym razem.
Oh, there's no end to them.
O chuj tu chodzi? Może trzeba źródło z nich wyssać. No nie.
Moving to reinforcement deploy. Oh, reinforcements deployed.
A to oni ich przyzywają. Krowy? Kurwa. Co mi w krowy?
Moving to noxious atmosphere enabler.
Ja pierdolę. Co za upierdliwa walka.
Moving to reinforcement deployer. Oh, reinforcements deployed. Moving to involuntary death assistant. Combat in progress. Seeking damage opportunity. Combat in progress. Seeking damage opportunities. Combat in progress. Seeking damage opportunities. Combat in progress. Seeking damage opportunities.
Źródło to wy mi zostawcie. No kurwa mać.
Greet the Reaper for me.
A gdzie jest ten lot Feniksa? Szkurwa, co mi się te umiejętności co chwilę przestawiają tutaj do chuja?
Combat in progress. Seeking damage opportunities. Combat in progress.
No dobra, już mnie zaczęła trochę wkurwiać ta walka.
There's got to be a way to make them stop.
Moving to corporeal transposition engine.
Ja nie wiem, co oni się kurwa bez przerwy tak będą pojawiać?
Moving to rapid descent cranial disruptor.
Oni się odradzają.
Moving to rapid descent cranial disruptor.
A ten skąd tutaj się kurwa wziął?
Ah, they just keep coming. Look around. There's got to be a way to make them stop.
Another one. How many more could there be?
Moving to noxious atmosphere.
They just keep coming. Look around. There's got to be a way to make them stop.
Moving to corporeal transposition and take you. Moving to reinforcement deployer. Moving to hazardous concoction generator.
Pojebana walka, no.
And moving to corporeal transposition engine. Hazardous concoction. Corporeal transposition imminent.
Oh, there's no end to them.
Moving to rapid descent cranial disruptor.
No, co chwilę kurwa wstaję.
Keep coming. Look around. There's got to be a way to make them stop.
Moving to corporeal transposition engine. Corporeal transposition imminent. Moving to orifice manipulator. Orifice manipulator. Activated.
Another one.
No, to jest jakieś popierdolone. Gdzie on jest?
There's no end to them. Glory is mine.
Jedenaście mu zostało.
Moving to hazardous concoction generator.
Nie wiem, skąd oni się kurwa biorą.
There's no end to them.
No wchłoń go, kurwa mać.
Combat in progress. Seeking damage opportunities.
They just keep coming. Look around. There's got to be a way to make them stop.
They just keep coming. Look around. There's got to be a way to make them stop.
Moving to rapid descent cranial disruptor.
Nie, no to jest jakieś popierdolone. O chuj tu kurwa chodzi w tym.
Venture no blood to cross very.
W dwójce chujna straszna. Ja mam cały czas tylko 4 punkty kurwa ruchu maksymalnie rozpoczynając walkę. W jedynce było tak, że z czasem jak się dodawało, to one przyrastały. A tutaj przeciwnicy mają czasami w chuj ruchu. To by pasowało, nie wiem, jakoś ich zabić i od razu chyba wchłaniać
To involuntary
ich
death.
duszę, no bo... Nie wiem. Nie wiem w ogóle skąd oni się biorą.
Hurts, doesn't it?
Moving to orifice manipulator.
No nie, to nic nie dało. Dalej się pojawia.
Oh, there's no end to them.
Careful now. That's a trap.
Moving to corporeal transposition engine. Corporeal transposition imminent.
Pulling a lever invites magical translocation.
Kurwa, no.
Careful now. That's a trap.
Moving to corporeal transposition engine. Moving to reinforcement deployer. Moving to rapid descent cranial disruptor.
Nic to nie daje, bo oni dalej wstają.
Ah, they just keep coming. Look around. There's got to be a way to make them stop.
Moving to hazardous concoction generator.
They just keep coming. Look around. There's got to be a way to make them stop. Greet the Reaper for
Moving to reinforcement deployer.
To jest bez sensu, kurwa, no.
They just keep coming. Look around. There's got to be a way to make them stop.
Moving to rapid descent cranial disruptor.
Another one. How many more could there be?
Time. Moving to hazardous concoction generator.
Dezaktywacja. Pancerz magiczny chyba trzeba mu zbić, albo...
Hazardous concoction vessel generated.
They just keep coming. Look around. There's got to be a way to make them stop.
There's no end to them.
Moving to noxious atmosphere enabler. Noxious atmosphere enabled. Moving to orifice manipulator. Orifice manipulator. Activated.
Pancerz magiczny blokuje.
Seeking damage opportunities. Combat in progress. Seeking
Nie masz pancerza magicznego, ale... Podejdź tu.
There's no end to them.
Czyli trzeba zbijać im pancerz magiczny i wtedy ich wchłonąć. Bo inaczej nic z tego nie będzie.
Worms take you. Meet your maker.
Move him to orifice manipulator.
Another one? How many more could there be?
Moving to bovine empathy simulator. Moving.
Co za popierdolona walka.
Combat in progress. Seeking damage opportunities. Combat in progress. Seeking damage opportunities.
Glory is mine.
Moving to hazardous concoction generator. Corporeal transposition imminent. Moving to hazardous concoction generator.
Ja pierdolę.
Combat in progress. Seeking damage opportunities.
They just keep coming. Look around. There's got to be a way to make them stop.
Trochę to nie ma sensu. Muszę im zbijać pancerz magiczny. I dopiero wtedy wchłonąć.
Time. Generated. Moving to involuntary deficit.
Pierdolca idzie dostać.
Moving to involuntary death assistant. involuntary death assistant.
No popierdolone to jest.
To involuntary death assistant.
Ja pierdolę. Kurwa chore jakieś.
Glory is mine.
Nie, nie, nie. No i dalej pizda. Ożeż kurwa ja pierdolę.
You're not trying to escape, are you?
No tam następny już wstał. Jak go tu dorwać?
Moving to corporeal transposition engine.
What the hell's just happened?
Imminent.
Nie, 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 bo jak wy go będziecie kurwa za każdym razem zabijać, to on będzie kurwa się odradzał za każdym. Ja pierdolę.
Moving to reinforcement deployer. Oh, reinforcements deployed. Combat in progress. Seeking damage opportunities.
No nie przejdzie tutaj.
Combat in progress. Seeking damage opportunities.
No ja go... No tutaj niczego brakuje na pasku.
Combat in progress. Seeking damage opportunities.
Nie chcę go zabijać, bo... To i tak mi nic nie da.
Combat in progress. Seeking damage opportunities.
Strasznie pokurwiona jest ta walka. Naprawdę. Nie wiem, kto ją wymyślił, ale...
Combat in progress. Seeking damage opportunities.
Podoba mi się pancerz odnowy. Magiczny.
Combat in progress. Seeking damage opportunities.
No to jest kurwa błąd, no. Ale musimy to 4 tury odnawiać, ja pierdolę. Co za pokurwiona walka, zaraz wracam.
Moving to rapid descent cranial disruptor. Moving to rapid descent cranial disruptor. Moving to rapid descent cranial disruptor. Moving to rapid descent cranial
No to jest jakieś to jest popierdolone przecież, no to jest... To nie jest kurwa normalne.
Moving to rapid descent cranial
Ja
disruptor.
pierdolę.
Moving to reinforcement deploy.
Też miał ładnie kurwa pod deklem nakurwione, że coś takiego wymyślając. Też w ogóle ja tam podejść nie mogę, noż kurwa on będzie spierdalał i walkę będzie urywało, bo są poza zasięgiem. Jakiś kurwa głąbem trzeba być, żeby coś takiego wymyślić, no.
Moving to reinforcement deploy.
Nawet podejść nie mogę.
Moving to reinforcement deploy.
Kurwa.
Moving to reinforcement deploy.
Ja pierdolę.
Moving to reinforcement deploy.
To naprawdę nie jest kurwa normalne.
Combat in progress. Seeking damage opportunities.
Czy on tego nie spierdolił znowu? Kurwa no... Zabija go od razu. Nie.
Combat in progress. Seeking damage opportunities.
Kurwa. Ale to jest pokurwione, naprawdę.
Combat in progress. Seeking damage opportunities. Bedtime!
Robię sobie save'ał, to było popierdolone takie. Wyrwa rozsądek. Jak to było? To trzeba boskiego zrobić, tak? Jak to Archu mówił, że trzeba dźwigniami ułożyć napis boski. Tak, żeby ułożone słowo boski. Czyli trzeba szukać B. Muszę skoczyć do WC. Za minutę wracam. Dobra, gdzie tu jest B? Na pewno nie tu. Doraraw, co to jest? Klatka piersiowa. Dobra, szukamy B. Parducha, autentyczność, jakość, władza, ambicja. Gdzie jest B? Żarliwość, śmiałość. O, jest B. Bystrość. Czyli tak.
I believe it did something.
B.
I could feel it.
Teraz O. Gdzie tu mamy O? A jest tutaj?
Feels like that means it did
Teraz S. Tu jest S.
something happened.
Os, teraz K i później I. Tu jest K.
It worked.
Zostało I. Boski. Gdzie my to I mamy? Tutaj.
Something's happening.
O,
That must have been the
poszło.
last lead. Must be getting closer to Lucian's crypt.
You reach for your weapon, but as the small Voidwoken skitters forward, you get the sense that it's not here to fight. It looks at Fane, clicking and chittering in excitement, and introduces itself. Fane starts in shock. He knows it. The Voidwoken was a colleague from Fane's days at the Academy, his assistant. It claims it knows how to save the... It promises Fane that if he can snatch the powers of the Seven, then he can restore his people. Not under the rule of the God King or the Void, they would finally be free. Fane turns away, pensive and quiet. Even as a skull, you can see the pain etched into his face.
Do you know, this Ark's place doesn't look half bad. Important does not do it justice. She tells me there is a way to save my people. The power of divinity could bring them back. Not as monsters, but restored. I could have my old life again. On the surface, yes. But what does that? The Eternals cannot be eternal without the source your god stole from them. No, if they return, they will reclaim their source. If the Eternals come home to this world, we will live in it as your masters. You will be our slaves at best. Our food, I'm not sure. It's just, they're my people. Although, I'm sorry, I can't talk about this right now.
The truth hangs heavy upon the air itself, unspoken. This is the point of...
Czyli tutaj już jest finał gry.
The truth hangs heavy upon the air itself, unspoken. This is the point of no return. Somewhere beyond this point, you shall be undone, or you shall ascend. There is no...
Come here often. I don't know what you did, but you just released a source flood. I thought I'd come and see what all the fuss was about. Should have known you were getting yourself into trouble. Looks like the big moment has finally arrived. I will do everything I can to support you, Godwoken. I will pray for you. I think you'll need it. Don't underestimate the power of true prayer. This is a place of incredible power where a single prayer, consider it a taste of your divine future. The people will pray for you. Of course, it's up to you whether or not to listen. I know how I'd respond, but...
Melody wearily chuckles to herself, then bows her head in a show of unexpected...
Looks like my investment's paid off after all.
You've shown me kindness in the face of my sins.
I've always preferred to be the one reaping the attention. But you've turned the tables.
Now go. Rivellon needs a new divine.
Well, this is it, Quercus. My goodness. Here we are, Quercus. This is it. What do you mean, Quercus? Of course I'm prepared. I have my noble steed below me, and my trusted shield beside me.
His whiskers crack into a mischievous smile.
And I may have cracked the spell that will stop the great acorn in its furious tracks, if that's what you mean.
Sir Laura turns to you, his beady eyes shining with pride.
I owe you an apology, Shield. At the start of our journey, I wouldn't have believed, but I see now that my prejudice was foolish. Without you, Quercus and I might still be stuck on that. Now, here I am. Here we are, on the brink of saving the world. Indeed, Quercus and I will find an advantageous location and do just that. Meanwhile, you must prevent the servants of...
Sir Laura takes a slow, deep breath and lets it out in a...
You feel it, don't you? It's so still, but there's something behind it too, like the great acorn is nearly here. Its servants are... We've known this moment would come. Now it is time to put my research... I am ready. Quercus is ready. And you, Shield?
Sir Laura nods in return and grabs your pinky with his tiny paw. He gives it a decisive...
No matter what happens next, Shield. There's something... It has been an honor. Now, onward!
Godwoken. Dallas told me about you. You must be as hard as diamonds, and your divine welcomes you.
The divine you thought dead lords over the chamber from a granite throne. He moves to speak, but it's Wiedemann's voice that next pierces the air.
What a twist.
Lucian frowns at Wiedemann, then turns to the silent monk standing near and smiles widely. Reality sets in. The monk is Gareth.
Oh, Gareth. He was always so devoted and so stubborn.
I underestimated you, Godwoken. You have proven to be a formidable foe.
Respect? Indeed.
Lucian's gaze rests upon you and goes through you. He takes your measure entirely.
Lucian, we should tell him the truth.
Yes, I agree. It is time we dropped our masks.
Dallas nods, then reaches for the sides of her head. Where there was one face, suddenly there are four. She takes off the mask of the shapeshifter. A skull is revealed, bejeweled and ancient as the void.
I am eternal.
Aren't they just full of surprises?
Fear not, Godwoken. Dallas is on the side of all that is good. She is helping me rid Rivellon of the influence of the sword.
I shall tell you the tale as I told it to Lucian. Long ago, the scholar Fane discovered that the veil between the world and the void was made of source. Our...
Of course.
Silence, slave. Our king forbade the Seven to reach for this power, but they didn't listen. Instead, they rebelled and sent the king and his people into the void.
With the source they stole from the veil, the Seven created the races so they would have worshippers.
Really? I'm shocked.
Shut your mouth, Godwoken. I tell you the truth.
He hesitates, then he swallows his pride.
Here is the truth. I have killed thousands, perhaps millions, for the greater good. But I made a mistake. It was my one mistake. Meant all those sacrifices were for naught. Those sacrifices must have meaning.
That will not do.
The Eteran is the salvation of Rivellon. It contains almost...
The plan is almost complete.
We have made so many sacrifices, Godwoken. All of us. Of ourselves and those we love.
Decide. Be the true hero and give up your source, or be forced to submit. Like a coward.
There is no other way. The source of the world is required to close the veil.
Wybiorę najpierw tą opcję oddania na przykład.
Yours.
Good. You understand.
The world shall not know this. I shall return from the grave, a divine without power, yet all who desire...
We already had more than enough, God.
Another sacrifice I was forced to make. Those...
Then let us proceed. Show some responsibility, Father!
Sealing the veil will lock our people away forever. They will never, though, if they return.
Fane turns to you. In all the time that you've traveled together, you've never seen him like this. He's...
And you, my fellow adventurers. Together we have seen more than... You showed me how beautiful it really was.
You'll be a hero. Everyone will know the sacrifice.
Don't let them do this to us.
But... our souls? No. Never.
Good.
Yes. Very.
She raises what looks like a leash. A chuckle emerges from beneath Wiedemann's hood. The chuckle becomes...
Oh.
How?
What?
A bright observation from a bilious imbecile. You left the leashing wand next to me, you stupid...
Kill him!
Do shut up, you tedious buffoon. And don't look so surprised. They thought themselves well in control. Or did you really think I'd play slavishly along with your ridiculous scheme? It was only about the power of divinity.
Kill him now!
Too late, you mouldering, blight-stained pigs. Grant me power, my ally. God King, I call on you! You would interrupt Brachus Rex. You would interrupt...
Nie. Ale wszyscy będą go napierdalać w sumie. Chyba. Albo i nie. Nie, jak wszystkich pozabijam. Momencik, bo ktoś mi tutaj coś pisał. Dobra.
God woken. Dallas, you're
The divine.
What a...
Lucian.
I and
respect.
Lucian.
Lucian.
Yes.
Dallas. A sky.
I am.
Aren't they just full of surprises?
Fear not.
I shall long ago.
Of course.
Sight our king.
With the source they stole from the veil.
During
Ours,
the
the seven. When we are done, there shall be no more source in the world.
Really?
Shut your mouth, Godwoken. I tell you the truth.
He hesitated.
Here, my one mistake meant all those sacrifices were for naught.
That will not.
The
plan.
we have made. There is. We only lack yours.
Then let us proceed. Show some responsibility, Father! Surrender!
Sealing the...
Though it feigned.
And you should...
You'll be a hit.
Don't let them...
No. Never.
I understand. Sacrifice takes courage. Your sacrifice shall...
I'm sorry. You've come such a long way. But there...
Co, będę musiał ich wszystkich zajebać? Są chyba w pierwszej kolejności Luciana. Tak ich tu jest od chuja. Dość mocno kurwa obrywają. No to chujowo nie można ich sobie rozstawić, tylko od razu jak się chce ich najebać, to... Co się stało z moim wojem? Znowu turę stracił, kurwa? Co jest z nim? Dlaczego on kurwa nie może uderzać? No w końcu.
Are you feeling poorly, Dallas? Good. I call on the God King. Come, claim what—
How? What?
Wiedemann cackles in delight at this turn of events. His unbridled glee slithers into your veins.
You left the leashing wand next to me, you stupid maggot. So—
Kill him!
Do shut up, you tedious buffoon. And don't look so surprised. As if I would allow that bone-bag Dallas to enslave me.
This is not the time for talk. Kill him, now!
Too late, you mouldering, blight-stained pigs. Grant me power— The God King hears my call.
A gdzie on jest w ogóle? Grace?
He sends a companion worthy. Come to your father.
Możesz, kurwa.
Come to the Source King.
O kurwa. Gdzie jest moja uczniczka? A tutaj. Gdzie jest Brakus w ogóle? No, pasowało chyba tego Brakusa zajebać. W pierwszej kolejności. Z krakiem obok niego. No, uczniczka już nie żyje, nie no, zajebiście. Jak jest kurwa za daleko? O ja pierdolę. mu mogę jakoś zajebać? Nie mogę mu zajebać. Kurwa no. Fajnie żyje. No zajebiście, tylko ja kurwa tym zostałem ryckiem. Kurwa, nie da rady. Nie będzie tak. I chuj. Ale popierdolona walka.
God woken. Dallas told me you're
The divine...
What a...
Lucian.
I am
respect.
Lucian's gaze...
Lucian.
Yes, I agree.
Dallas, a sky...
I am.
Aren't they just full of
Fear not.
I shall long ago.
Of course.
Sight our king.
With the source they stole from the veil.
Really?
Shut your mouth, Godwood.
He hesitates.
Here, my one mistake.
That will not.
The
plan.
we have. There is. We only lack yours.
Then let us show some.
Sealing the... Though if feigned...
And you should...
You'll be a.
Don't let the...
No. Never.
I understand. Yours.
I'm sorry.
Are you feeling poorly, Dan?
How?
Read him...
You kill him! Do shut up, you tedious buffoon!
And this is not the.
Too late, you mouldering... The God King here. He said, come to your father. Come to the Source King.
A ja mam tą anatemę. Ale tu jest jeszcze boski jak coś. Oni tak chyba będą chcieli tamtego dorwać. Drakusa. Boski. Póki co tych atakuje. Nie idą na tamtego, tak? Na razie. Przecież kurwa mnie zamroził. Akurat jego musiał, no. to ma też zasięg jebany. I pierdolnięcie ma też konkretne. Aby się stąd ewakuować. Bliżej środka. Kurwa, ten to ma pierdolnięcie, no. Gdzie jest w ogóle moja uczniczka? Ajajaj, łujnia 3 rundy. Dlaczego to ruchu nie ma? Co jest kurwa grane? Mógłby się tą w sumie zająć. Chyba pasowałoby, żeby w końcu moja uczniczka miała jakiś ruch do chuja. No co jest? Znowu porażenie, znowu nie będzie miała kurwa ruchu, ja pierdolę. Jak on jeszcze stoi? Jak ten smok tu przyleci właśnie. Ja się tu nim zaopiekuję. No i dalej ona nie ma ruchu. Nie, zostań tu. Zostań tu, gościu. Zawołałoby, żeby ona w końcu mogła strzelić, no bo już mnie chuj strzela. No dalej ona ruchu nie ma. Nie rozumiem dlaczego. Ja pierdolę, no w końcu.
Lucian struggles to rise, but the weight of his own pain leaves him to gravity's mercy.
My time is done. But your source burns so bright I'm all but blinded by it. Be wise.
Dallis groans in pain.
I have failed. The future of all that is...
Listen, this is it. Again. And I want you to know I'm not putting up a fight, not against you. My revels are now ended. Yours are about to begin. I've had my vengeance, my life and my liberty. You helped me win them back. And then, when you told me you loved me, all of me, all I want now is for this to end. To be by your side when we wage the final battle. And long, long after. I know you do. And I love you too. Now kiss me.
You kiss each other passionately, ready to face the darkest dark.
Here we stand, once more on the cusp of divinity. But this cup, so long thirsted for, all my life has been a lead-up to this. To be the King of Kings, God of Gods. I will not say it was in vain, but I will say it was. If I were to chance upon my throne right now, I would sit down beside it, I'd think of Sadher, my great love. I'd think of my children, their joyous dance through fiery skies. And of course I'd think of you, of the adventures we had, of our... Yes, I'd sit there, thoroughly contented, and wait for you to ascend the throne. I know.
A mischievous smile.
But I do have to add, likewise.
Well then, this is, as they say. I never dreamed that after all this, I would be standing here with one of your kind. Let alone that I would be proud to do so. I cannot imagine someone I would trust more with divinity, including myself.
Fane lays a bony hand on your shoulder, squeezing...
Do you know, I believe you will.
You think back on your journey here, on all that you have seen, and you think of the Magisters, and the sorcerers they hunted, and of the... You think of how the Eternals came as Voidwoken to reclaim their You look at the source around you. The power is immense. Divinity, you think of what you could do with such power. The rights you had wronged. You marvel at your journey and how it has changed you. You think of those you left behind, and of those... It's time to choose your fate, and the fate of all you hold dear. Shall you be divine? After all that you have been through, and all that you have done, all that you have become, the Aeteran lies in front of you. Divinity is yours to take or to sacrifice. What you do next decides your own fate and the future. What shall you do with divinity?
Tutaj w ogóle zrobię głównego może save'a.
So it ended. A tale that began with my own ill-fated attempt to rid the world of the Godwoken. A new divine rose, a true heir to the Seven, more powerful than ever, and united Rivellon in its battle against the Void. All across the realm he was loved, worshipped, and adored. Humans, lizards, elves and dwarves all rallied to his banner. The Great Allegiance stood once more, but the war continued. From the depths of the void, the God King still sought to return. As for me, my last hope of ever being freed of the God King's terrible tyranny faded when the God-woken claimed divinity. An eternity of pain and suffering is mine. I cling now to the dream that one day the veil will be sealed, that one day I can be freed, that one day a new God-woken will rise.
Malady stands tall.
Well, here we are again. You, me, and the ship I've saved. Get an eyeful, Your Holiness. I expect it's the last we'll...
She turns to you, arms crossed, and...
Look at you. Magnificent. The same way I do everything, of course. Demonic.
She fingers the mask, covering her face. For a moment, it seems...
We've come a long way together. I did my best by you all the way. Soon, I'd like to have a little chat about Bud. I believe that relax. Enjoy. I certainly plan to do the same. Oh, I don't know, around and about. Treat myself to some mead, a lover or three. And when the time comes, Your Holiness.
It gives me almost as much pleasure to speak to you as it does to be whole again. I will always be an ally to those that carry... I am at the ready.
You look out to the endless beyond. The sun's light plays upon the waves, and with a start, you realize where you must go next. You speak the command. War raged on. The ancient empire of lizards became one of the pillars of the new divine alliance. The houses of war and of shadows were particularly useful in the fight against the God King. The empire used the war to expand its territory. With Justinia dead, the Dwarven kingdom descended into chaos. But although they did not join the Divine Alliance, many joined the fight against the Void, and did their people great honor in battle and in death. With Lucian gone, the elves reluctantly rejoined the Divine Alliance. Their place in the war on the Void would entirely depend on the integrity of the new Divine. And on the integrity of the elven Godwoken who did not ascend. And here and there, across the world, what was left of the Black Ring fought on. The island of Fort Joy remained a sorcerer's paradise, a place of exile for those whose sorcery threatened to bring in the Void. For their well-being, its residents depended entirely on the benevolence of the new Divine. Reaper's Coast struggled on. The farms and the fisheries fought to feed the people against the Void-woken blight. The Black Pits took fire. The oil there burns still. Driftwood teetered on the edge of starvation until the night the Voidwoken came from the sea. All were killed. This did, however, put an end to the famine. The nameless isle had vanished. Although only open water remained, by instinct ships would steer clear. None of the captains could articulate why. Young Han grew up a warrior and became one of the Alliance's greatest generals. But even he could not win the war. Almira and Mihaly settled in an abandoned homestead. The locals liked and respected Almira. She never wanted for help, and deals always fell to her favor. Outsiders were often suspicious, but no local would speak against her. With a new divine at the helm, Malady had a powerful ally, but she was in no hurry to call in her favor. After all, it might be the last thing she ever did. Having performed the greatest act of necromancy in history, Tarquin found the new world unchallenging. He became obsessed with rumors of another plane of existence. One day he vanished and was never seen again. Ahu the wizard served the new divine with honor, wisdom, and an at times unnerving feline elegance. The undead priestess Gratiana remained in her sanctuary, happy to wait for the war to pass. She was troubled only by the silence of her goddess. Changed by his experience with the Godwoken, Mordus proved a useful tool in the fight against the Void. The Alliance quickly learned to keep him away from ordinary soldiers for the sake of morale. Jehan the Demon Hunter never stopped hunting for demons. Sahala sought to strengthen the Elven Alliance with the new divine. Her powers of sight proved useful in the ongoing war against the Void, but she could never be sure that the new divine trusted her. Tova, her mother, was Sahala's most trusted warrior. Fane traveled Rivellon, notebook in hand, recording the wonders he discovered. He kept a socket peeled for signs of the Eternals, hoping to find the wife he had lost. He's still looking. Sabine wandered the world. She became a household name, famed the realm over as a traveling hero, celebrated wherever she went. Enjoying life to the fullest, she was truly and finally free. On his return to the Empire, the Red Prince was hailed a hero. He married Sada, and they had many more dragons. Soon, the prince became the Emperor. Faced with dragons, the Void did not gain the upper hand in the Empire. And then there was you. For how much of this do you take credit? Or blame? And what kind of divine were you as the world battled on? Did you show mercy or strength? Did you sacrifice others as Lucian had done? Did you regret becoming divine? Should you have given your soul and sealed the veil? Only you know the truth. Only you know if you atone for your sins.
Dobra, ta gierka w chuj. Siemanko, Krzysztof, witam. Sprawdzimy teraz to drugie zakończenie. Tak, no. Tylko na razie wybrałem to pierwsze zakończenie, żeby zostać boskim, a tam są jeszcze jakieś 2, widzę. Dlatego zrobiłem sobie save'a na nich. Zobaczę teraz to drugie. Ile ja tu godzin już spędziłem w tej grze ogólnie? Mam przegrane... 130 godzin. 131 prawie. Sporo, nie? Teraz wezmę to. Oddaj źródło wszystkim mieszkańcom Rivellonu. Podziel się boskością ze światem. Gdy wszyscy będą boskimi, nikt nie będzie boskim. O, następne osiągnięcie.
So it ended.
No.
A tale that began with my own ill-fated
A
attempt.
jutro zaczynamy Days Gone'a na tym najwyższym poziomie trudności. Zainstalowałem już go.
When the dust settled, no new divine had risen. Instead, all source was released into the world for all the people and every creature to share. Everyone was now a sorcerer. And united, the peoples of Rivellon pushed back the God King into the very depths of the void. This ushered in a new
Jeszcze się kurwa przeziębiłem wczoraj.
But alas,
Coś mnie rozłożyło.
with many greedy for wealth, power and position, the struggle soon began anew. Source, the very language of creation, was used in violence once more. The never-ending contest for power continued.
Jest katarek.
As for me,
Nie lubię
my
katarek.
last hope of ever being freed of the God King's terrible tyranny faded when the God-woken failed to seal the veil. An eternity of pain and suffering is mine, in service of the King, until the day I am freed, the day the God King returns.
I tak, tutaj wszyscy zostali boskimi w zakończeniu. Sama końcówka to podejrzewam, że jakoś nie będzie się bardzo różniła.
So, a bit boring to be so unexpected again. I suppose they can't fit all of us in fort. We've come to the brink and back again so many times.
Pogoda jest pojebana taka, że dzisiaj wiesz, fajnie ciepło, wczoraj była taka lucha, cały czas padało, zimno. Kurwa, i gdzieś człowieka przeziębiło.
It gives me almost as I will. I am.
You look out, and with a start,
A nie, to się jakoś
the
inaczej już
world was
kończy.
at peace, at least for now. Few were as prepared for the new world as the lizardkin of the ancient empire. With power spread equally throughout the world, the advantage lay with those who knew how to steal it, and at this the lizards excelled. With their queen dead and the Void-Woken gone, the dwarves held the greatest party in the history of dwarfdom. A new king took the throne, the local brewer. 6 days later, he was stabbed to death with a mutton fork. With their power returned, the elves reclaimed their lands from the death fog and began to rebuild. Soon they would split as 2 factions sought power, one to bring back the trees, the other to bring back the scions. A dwarven joke did the rounds.
Prawdę mówiąc, chyba nie ma jednego takiego najlepszego
so
zakończenia.
Lucian dropped the
Każdy
death
ma
fog
jakieś
on them
plusy i
again.
minusy. Jak zawsze.
Only the elven Godwoken could bring the elves together once more. And in a dark forest on the far side of a desert, well beyond the high seas, the Black Ring came together once more. The island of Fort Joy, the old redoubt of the Source King Brachus Rex, was turned over to the people of
No i
Driftwood
ta ostatnia
to
walka
use
była
as they
zajebiście
wished.
trudna.
They turned it into a
Fajnie
holiday
zrobiona.
resort.
Wymagająca w chuj.
Reaper's Coast prospered. The fisheries returned, and the fertile farmlands
tak.
produced the greatest harvests the surviving farmers had ever seen.
Kurwa, nie lubię mieć kataru.
Blood Moon Island became particularly fecund, its soil producing the greatest crops. A particularly crimson-fleshed orange grown on the island became a delicacy across half the world. The black pits took
Chyba nikt
fire.
nie.
The oil there burns still.
Ewentualnie kolumbijski katar. To już jest więcej amatorów tego.
Driftwood became a centre of industry, trade and transport. Lohar became mayor, and Brayton Barnes grew rich until, after a public argument over import duties, Barnes died in an accident, buried under several tons of fish, and also stabbed in the back with a gutting knife. Lagan left his over-demanding wife and began a relationship with a local bard. In the spirit of loving generosity, he returned the ring to his now ex-wife. In a fit of rage, she threw it into the sea. You would never forget Dorothea's kiss. Dorothea herself left Driftwood for the ancient empire, ever in search of the perfect kiss. She never found
A
it,
nie, ja robię
although
inaczej.
once
Ja
or
sobie biorę,
twice
wiesz,
she came
kwaza
close.
skorpinowy, rozpuszczam, biorę pół szklanki takiej, wiesz, letniej wody, rozpuszczam
The
właśnie
nameless
łyżeczkę
isle
kwasu
had vanished.
skorbinowego, do
Although
tego
only
łyżka
open
miodu
water
i 2 ząbki
remained,
czosnku
by
wciskam,
instinct
nie?
ships would
Taką
steer
miksturkę
clear.
robię
None of the
z
captains could
rańca.
articulate why.
To średnio dobre, ale
Millennia later, adventurers would
Pomaga.
come in search of the legendary divine city of Arx and the crypt of the great Lucian. None would pass the path of blood.
zawsze mi to pomagało.
Young Han went into the theatre
To i tak będzie
and
trwało
became
za
one of the
3-4
realm's
dni.
most popular actors.
Nie ma rady na to. To kurwa nie reklama, nie?
Almira and
To
Mihaly
wiesz,
settled in an
weźmiesz
abandoned
tabletkę i
homestead.
chuj zdrowy.
The locals liked and respected Almira. She never wanted for help, and deals always fell to her favor. Outsiders were often suspicious, but no local would speak against her.
Dokładnie. A czosneczek zawsze najlepszy.
With no new divine, Malady found herself in a predicament. She had an important problem to solve, but no ally strong enough to call upon, and so her search continued. Having performed the greatest act of necromancy in history, Tarquin found the new world unchallenging. He became obsessed with rumors of another plane of existence. One day he vanished and was never seen again. With the source released to the world, Ahu the wizard spent more and more time as a cat. One day he decided he would not change back. With Amadia silent, the priestess Gratiana left the swamps and re-entered the world. With more undead than ever before, she founded an abbey in the Dragonspine Mountains, offering them shelter from hatred and fear. Mordus scratched out a living, ending up as a short-order cook. After an epiphany arising from the phrase, sunny side up, he started a religion. Upon his death from food poisoning, all 3 of his followers committed suicide. Jehan, the demon hunter, found himself at a loose end. So, he opened a museum of demonic
No,
artifacts.
końcówka to już jest ta sama. Zobaczymy teraz jeszcze to ostatnie zakończenie. No w ogóle zlikwidujemy to źródło całkowicie. Została ostatnia opcja. Pozwól oczyścić siebie i świat ze źródła. Najwyższa ofiara.
And so it ended. A tale that began with my own ill-fated attempt to rid the
No,
world.
trzeba będzie za chwilę wskoczyć pod kołderkę i się wygrzewać. To już jest ta ostatnia opcja dialogowa.
Dallas the Hammer, the secret eternal, purged the Godwoken and used the source to close the veil to the void. The world was saved. Statues in memory of the Godwoken who sacrificed their source were erected all across Rivellon. They would never be forgotten.
A to chyba zginęli wszyscy.
Melody took pity on the soulless
I najwyższa
Godwoken
ofiara.
silent monks and
No tak,
brought
nie
them
wiem.
to the Hall of Echoes. There, from the scraps of their souls that remained, she restored them to life. Sorcerers no more, they lived out the rest of their lives, freed of the burden of being the Godwoken,
Aha.
freed from the weight of the world. As for me, the Godwoken sacrifice severed the link that bound the sworn to the God
Chyba
King.
to ostatnie będzie najlepsze zakończenie
Finally
właśnie.
free. To atone for my sins, I spent the rest of my days taking care of the sick and elderly, telling the story of the Godwoken, that the world may never forget the greatest heroes Rivellon had ever seen.
No, ostatnie. To chyba to ostatnie było najlepsze, nie? Najwyższa ofiara. Większe poświęcenie. Tak to wskazywało. Podpiszę później, jak chcesz, na tą ostatnią walkę. Ale zajebista była.
I am at the ready.
You look out, and with a start,
Zobaczymy, co tutaj będą gadać.
at last the world was at peace. The ancient lizard empire opened its gates. The houses disbanded, and the empire adopted a pluralist quasi-democracy. Anyone could vote for whoever they pleased, as long as the House of Shadows approved. With their queen dead and the Voidwoken gone, the dwarves held the greatest party in the history of dwarfdom. A new king took the throne, the local brewer. 6 days later, he was stabbed to death with a mutton fork. Lucian made amends to the elves. He gave them lands and vast riches from the coffers of the old divine order. But the elves never forgave him. They would not trust humans again. And in a dark forest on the far side of a
Każde
desert,
zakończenie
well
jest
beyond
inaczej
the high
opisywane. Fajnie jest to
seas, the
zrobione.
Black Ring came together once more.
Koniec, no, siema Felix. Sprawdzam, wiesz, 3 zakończenia, nie?
The
To jest
island of
ostatnie.
Fort Joy, the old redoute of the Source King Bracchus
131
Rex,
godzin mi
was
zajęło
turned over
granie
to
w
the
to.
people of Driftwood to use as they wished. They turned it into a holiday resort.
Sporo, nie?
Reaper's Coast prospered.
A jutro odpalamy tego Days Gone'a na tym poziomie
The fisheries
przetrwania 2.
returned, and the fertile farmlands produced the greatest harvests the surviving
Jest
farmers had
demo
ever
Resident
seen.
Evil 4, ale nie chce mi się grać w demo. Wolę poczekać na pełną wersję. I wtedy sobie dopiero
Blood
zasiąść do
Moon
grania.
Island became particularly fecund, its soil producing the
Ja
greatest
tak nie lubię
crops.
w demówki
A
grać.
particularly crimson-fleshed orange grown on the island became a delicacy
Będziemy
across
grać
half the world.
Days Gone'a. Z tego chuda całego, czy jak to się tam nazywa.
The black pits took fire.
Będzie się fajnie
The
grało
oil
pewnie.
there burns still. Driftwood became a center of industry, trade and transport.
Tak chcę na świeżo zacząć, bo wiesz. No tak to mapę ma mniej więcej
Lohar
uchwaloną,
became
nie?
mayor,
To będzie mi
and
się
Brayton Barnes grew
łatwiej
rich
jeździło.
until, after a public argument over import duties, Barnes died in an accident, buried under several tons of fish, and also stabbed in the back with a gutting knife. Lagan left his over-demanding wife and began a relationship with a local bard. In the spirit of loving generosity, he returned the ring to his now ex-wife. In a fit of rage, she threw it into the sea. You would never forget Dorothea's kiss. Dorothea herself left Driftwood for the ancient empire, ever in search of the perfect kiss. She never found it, although once or twice she came close.
Pocałunek pająka dawała.
The nameless isle had vanished. Although only open water remained, by instinct ships would steer clear. None of the captains could articulate why. Young Han went into the theatre and became one of the realm's most popular actors. Almira and Mihaly settled down on the farm. The locals liked and respected Almira. She never wanted for help, and deals always fell to her favor. She presumed she had them in thrall. The truth was, they just liked her. With no new divine, Malady found herself in a predicament. She had an important problem to solve, but no ally strong enough to call upon, and so her search continued. Having performed the greatest act of necromancy in history, Tarquin found the new world unchallenging. He became obsessed with rumors of another plane of existence. One day he vanished and was never seen again. Ahu the wizard became one of Lucian's most trusted advisors once more. He always knew that something had changed in the divine. He never discovered what that was, or, if he did, he never said a word. With Amadia silent, the priestess Gratiana left the swamps and re-entered the world. She founded an abbey in the Dragonspine Mountains, offering the last of the undead shelter from fortune hunters, novelty seekers, and ghouls. Mordus scratched out a living, ending up as a short-order cook. After an epiphany arising from the phrase, sunny side up, he started a religion. Upon his death from food poisoning, all three of his followers committed suicide. Jehan the demon hunter found himself at a loose end, so he opened a museum of demonic artifacts. He made a fortune. With Lucian in power, Sahala took the elves away from the world. They grew strong once more amidst the trees of the regrown home forest. Some say her plans for revenge will bring about the
czyli to
end of
ostatnie
days.
zakończenie jest najlepsze jednak. Oni się poświęcają.
Some say only Tova, her mother, holds her back. Lucian returned as divine, united the races, and became Lord Emperor of all Rivellon. Only Dallis knew that he was entirely powerless. Dallis and you. The Eternal, now known as Dallis, was a secret advisor to Lucian and to his successors. For eons she would walk in the world, and would outlive the peoples and all, and wander alone amongst the dying stars. His run-in with his daughter set Fane on a new path. He travelled Rivellon, recording the wonders he discovered, but always kept a socket peeled for signs of the Eternals. He hoped to find the wife he'd lost, but he never did. Then again, he's still looking. Sabine wandered the world. She became a household name, famed the realm over as a traveling hero, celebrated wherever she went. Enjoying life to the fullest, she was truly and finally free. The Red Prince came home a hero. With Sada, he had more dragons. Soon, Prince became emperor, one who would not use his dragons for conquest. His realm knew peace, and the world did not burn. And then there was you. You returned to the world as one more human among many. Your future was yours to decide. Did you accept your new status with humility, or did you rebel? Only you know the truth. Only you know if you atone for your sins.
Dobra gierka. Fajnie się w nią grało. I trudne walki miały przede wszystkim. Dobra, ja uciekam. Dobranoc i do jutra. Trzymajcie się.